the USS Valor glided through the vibrant atmosphere of Terra Nova, a world bursting with potential and promise. Captain Mira Jansen stood at the helm, her heart racing with anticipation. After years of conflict and strife, they had finally found a place to call home, a sanctuary where humanity could thrive and rebuild. "Captain, we're approaching the designated landing zone," Lieutenant Kiran Singh announced, his fingers deftly navigating the controls. "Surface scans indicate a stable environment, and life signs are abundant." Mira nodded, her thoughts racing. This was more than just a mission, it was a new beginning. "Prepare to land. Make sure the landing teams are ready." As the ship descended, the vibrant greens and blues of the planet filled the viewscreen. Rolling hills and vast forests stretched as far as the eye could see. Mira's breath caught in her throat. It was breathtaking. This was the opportunity they had fought for, a chance to reclaim their future. The Valor touched down with a gentle thud, and the crew sprang into action. Armed with advanced technology and a deep-seated resolve, they stepped onto the planet's surface, where the air was crisp and alive with the sounds of nature. The team, a mix of scientists, engineers, and soldiers, spread out to assess the surroundings. "Team Alpha, report in," Mira commanded through her comms as she surveyed the landscape. "Team Alpha reporting," came the voice of Dr. Elena Reyes, the lead biologist. "Initial scans show diverse flora and fauna. The ecosystem appears healthy. Keep an eye out for anything unusual," Mira replied. "We don't know what we're dealing with yet." As they moved deeper into the lush forest, the team stumbled upon remnants of an ancient civilization. Massive stone structures stood half-submerged in greenery, their surfaces etched with intricate carvings depicting scenes of both beauty and sorrow. "What do you think happened here?" Kiran wondered aloud, tracing a finger along the weathered stone. "Maybe they reached too far too fast," Mira mused, remembering the tales of humanity's own history, of empires rising and falling. "We need to learn from their mistakes." Suddenly, a low rumble echoed through the trees, shaking the ground beneath them. The crew instinctively drew their weapons, hearts pounding in unison. "Get back to the ship," Mira shouted, adrenaline surging through her veins. As they sprinted toward the clearing, a massive creature burst forth from the underbrush. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, towering, with iridescent scales that shimmered in the light. Fierce eyes locked onto them. "Hold your fire," Mira commanded, raising her hand. The creature paused, nostrils flaring as it took in the scent of the newcomers. The team hesitated, weapons still drawn but hearts racing with uncertainty. The creature stood tall, muscles rippling beneath its thick hide, but there was an intelligence in its gaze and awareness that made Mira's heart skip a beat. "Let's not provoke it," Kiran whispered, his eyes wide. "It doesn't seem aggressive." Taking a deep breath, Mira stepped forward, slowly lowering her weapon. "We come in peace," she declared, her voice steady yet soft. "We mean you no harm." To her astonishment, the creature leaned closer, sniffing the air around her. The tension hung thick, but Mira could sense something shifting in the atmosphere, a fragile bond forming between them. As she extended her hand, the creature tilted its massive head, curiosity replacing its initial wariness. She felt an overwhelming urge to connect, to reach across the divide of species and find common ground. In that moment, the world around them faded. Mira was flooded with images, fragments of the creature's life, its struggles and triumphs, the beauty of its home, and the devastation that had befallen its kind. The bond was more profound than she could have imagined, a shared experience that transcended language and understanding. "It's like it's showing us its memories," Kiran breathed, his gaze fixed on the creature. Mira nodded, tears welling in her eyes. "This world is alive, and it wants us to know its story." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting golden hues across the landscape, the creature let out a deep, resonant sound, a mix between a roar and a song. The team stood in awe, united by a moment that felt timeless, as if the very essence of Terra Nova was welcoming them. Days turned into weeks as the crew of the Valor established a base on Terra Nova. They worked tirelessly, studying the ecosystem, mapping the terrain, and building relationships with the planet's inhabitants. The creature they had encountered, which they named Helios, became a trusted guide, leading them to hidden wonders and revealing the depths of the planet's history. Mira and Helios developed a deep bond, sharing knowledge and experiences. Through their connection, the crew learned to navigate the intricate web of life that thrived on Terra Nova. They discovered species of plants that could heal, animals that communicated in ways they never thought possible, and remnants of the ancient civilization that had once flourished. One day, while exploring a valley filled with bioluminescent flowers, Mira gathered the team for a briefing. "We've uncovered evidence of advanced technology buried within the ruins," she began, excitement bubbling in her voice. "It seems this civilization had mastered energy manipulation. If we can reverse engineer their technology, we could revolutionize our own systems back on Earth." Kieran raised an eyebrow. "But we need to tread carefully. We don't want to repeat their mistakes." "Agreed," Mira replied. "We have to approach this with respect. We're guests in their world." As they continued their research, tension simmered beneath the surface. Not all factions of humanity were eager to embrace this new beginning. News of Terra Nova reached the remnants of rival factions, groups still clinging to the old ways of conquest and domination. One evening, while Mira stood on the bridge of the Valor, scanning the stars, an urgent alert blared through the ship. "Captain, we have incoming ships," Kieran shouted, eyes wide with alarm. "It's a fleet of scavengers." "Alert the crew, prepare for defense," Mira commanded, adrenaline surging through her veins. This was the moment they had feared. The chance to defend their new home had arrived. As the scavengers descended upon Terra Nova, Mira rallied her team. "We won't let them take what we've built. Ilios and the other creatures can help us." In the midst of the chaos, Mira spotted Ilios, a magnificent figure cutting through the fray, rallying the local wildlife. It was a sight that filled her with hope. They were not just defending themselves, they were protecting a future. After a fierce struggle, the scavengers were driven back, their ships retreating into the stars. Mira stood amidst the wreckage, her heart pounding with a mix of triumph and relief. They had defended their home, but more importantly, they had forged an alliance between species. As the sun rose over the horizon, illuminating the remnants of the battle, Mira gathered her crew. "Today, we've proven that we can coexist with this world and its inhabitants. We will honor its past and build a future together." In the weeks that followed, the crew of the Valor and the inhabitants of Terra Nova worked side by side, creating a thriving community. They studied the ancient technology, learning from its brilliance while ensuring that the mistakes of the past were not repeated. Mira often reflected on their journey, the lessons they had learned, and the bonds they had forged. The story of humanity was evolving, branching into new realms of possibility. Together, they had embraced the chaos and beauty of life, forging an epic tale of resilience and unity. And as she looked to the stars, Mira knew this was just the beginning. The epic story of humanity, now intertwined with the fate of Terra Nova, was destined to continue, each chapter more vibrant and profound than the last.